Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Sea Poet, Poetry Ungovernable, and in today's video we are going to talk about apostrophe. I know what you're thinking. Isn't apostrophe a punctuation mark? Yes, it is, but in poetry it has a different use and meaning altogether. Let's look at that. An apostrophe in poetry is a figure of speech where the poet addresses 1. A person who is physically absent or dead, 2. An abstract idea, or 3. An inanimate object or a place. A poet, while using apostrophe in a poem, uses names or the word "o" to refer to the abstract idea or the absent person. Later, the word "you" is often used to retain the attention of the audience to this address. The purpose of an apostrophe in a poem is to 1. Personify the abstract idea so that the poet can address it as if it existed in human form. 2. To express mood or emotions to the absent person, such as that of longing, anger, frustration, jealousy, etc. Now that we have seen the meaning and the purpose of an apostrophe in poetry, there are a few questions that may come to mind. For example, what's the difference between personification and an apostrophe then in poetry? And number 2, can a poem have more than one apostrophe, or can a poet use more than one apostrophe in one particular poem? To answer the questions, yes, the difference between personification and apostrophe is that in personification, you give the abstract idea, the inanimate object, a certain human attribute, so to personify it. However, in apostrophe, you are addressing the inanimate object or the abstract idea as if it is existing in human form. And for the second question, can you have more than one apostrophe in a poem? Yes, you can. For example, in those poems that are recited or a spoken word that has more than one poet saying either one stanza and the other one talking about the other stanza, you may have 2 different apostrophes in that particular poem. However, it's tricky to have more than one apostrophe in one poem. Why? Because you have to consider that you do not want to confuse the audience in knowing which character traits are you giving the one specific apostrophe and which other character traits that you're giving the other apostrophe, so that you do not confuse the two. However, it's very much possible. To illustrate apostrophe in a poem, we are going to go through a poem of my own that I wrote in the book Phenomenal Saint, that is going to give us an idea on what exactly an apostrophe is and how to use it in a poem. Dear Dad, you broke our heart, dropped it right at the doormat, shutting the doors as fast, you labeled as your past. Every day what the neighbors saw, for mother the wife is always the last to know. Even though an obligation to us you did owe, you painted as your foes. Baby joy cries all night, and I'm afraid to keep lying to be alright. Mom has lost her fight, you know, her womanly might. For me, it's that fatherly hug. Oh, how I recap sharing your porridge mug. Now a memory so torn a rag, buried deep in a grave I dug. Though Uncle Mike visits us, and we laugh and tell story for hours at the station as he awaits the late bus, I still appease the gods to return you to us. When Auntie said I ought to write, I didn't know which was right, dearest dad or loving dad, so I used the formal dear. For to you I say goodbye. Signed, your eldest daughter. Have you managed to identify the inanimate object or the physically absent person addressed in this poem? It is a dad who happened to have left his family a long time ago, and the character who is addressing the dad in this poem is a daughter, the eldest daughter. And you can see this right from the first stanza and from the first line, or even from the first title where it says, Dear Dad. It's an address. It's a letter, Dear Dad, being written by someone to another person who is not physically there. From the first line, you can see the word you to reference or to address that person who is not in existence in that specific audience, which continues to say, you broke our heart, dropped it right at the doormat, shutting the doors as fast, you labeled as your past. So as you can see from that specific stanza, the you, who is the dear dad being addressed in the poem, is no longer there with them, with the family, because he decided to leave them by shutting the doors as fast and labeling them his past. So he's able to, you're able to see that he has left. He's not physically there. The other stanza that can really help you know that this person is not in the audience and this person is being addressed from a past is the last stanza as well, when it says, when Auntie said I ought to write, I didn't know which was right, dearest dad or loving dad, so I used the formal dad. For to you I say goodbye. For to you I said goodbye. What I used was the formal dear because they are no longer there, they are no longer loving dad, dearest dad. So, and it's signed the eldest daughter. So that's the particular poem that we're talking about. The apostrophe referred to here is a person who is no longer in existence, be it that they have left them for the dead or for whatever reason, they left them. And so the daughter is writing because they are no longer there with them. That's the use of an apostrophe. Thank you for watching the video today. Continue to subscribe for more videos. Bye.